Good evening, students. In today's class, I am going to solve the questions related to motion in a straight line. What is the question? The motion of a particle along a straight line is described by equation x is equal to 8 plus 12t minus t cube, where x in meter and t in second. Then the retardation of the particle when its velocity becomes 0. If the velocity decreases, then it is called retardation. If the velocity increases, then it is called acceleration. Okay. Now, what we have to find? We have to find the retardation means, so that is negative acceleration. Retardation means here negative acceleration. See here. Solution. So, first I will write the given equation, that is x is equal to 8 plus 12t minus of t cube. Then what is our aim? Our aim is to find retardation. Retardation means negative acceleration. So listen here, differentiating this equation with respect to time, then we will get velocity. So differentiation with respect to time, dx by dt. Differentiation of 8 with respect to t, that is 0. Okay, then plus differentiation of 12t with respect to t, that is 12, because differentiation of t with respect to t, that is 1, hence it is 12, minus differentiation of t cube with respect to t, that is 3t square, Now this can be written as 12 minus 3t square, then it is velocity. Now acceleration. What about acceleration? Before finding the acceleration, first we have to find, so what is the time value? Means we have to find time. So when the velocity becomes 0, means the velocity can be taken as 0, then it is 12 minus of 3t square. Then 12 minus of 3t square is nothing but it is 3t square is equal to 12. Then t square is equal to 12 by 3. Then it is 4. T square is 4. Then t is 2. T is 2 seconds. Means at the time 2 seconds we have to find acceleration, means negative acceleration, that is called retardation. Okay. Now what is acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but it is the rate of change of velocity. Once again differentiating this equation with respect to time. So differentiation of this equation with respect to time, that means dv by dt. What is dv by dt? So it is called acceleration, because the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. Now that is equal to, so the differentiation of 12 with respect to t, that is 0, minus the differentiation of 3t square with respect to t, that is minus of 6t, because see here, the differentiation of t square with respect to t is 2t into minus 3, that is minus 6t. Okay. Now it is minus of 6t. So let us substitute the time. Now it is minus 6 into 2, then minus 12 meter per second square. So now here the acceleration is negative. So if the acceleration is negative, then it is called retardation. Then what is the value of retardation here? The value of retardation is 12 meter per second square. Then options, first option 24 meter per second square, second option 0, third option 6 meter per second square, and last option 12 meter per second square. Means option 4 is correct or option D is correct. Hence this is the required answer for the given question. Now next question. Motion of a particle is given by equation s is equal to 3t cube minus 7t square plus 14t plus 8. And here this position is given in meter, means distance given in meter. The value of acceleration of the particle at t is equal to 1 second is. What we have to find? We have to find the value of acceleration of the particle at t is equal to 1 second. So first I will write given equation. Distance traveled given. That distance traveled can be represented by s. Then s is equal to, so that is 3t cube plus 7t square plus 14t plus 14t plus 8 plus 8. Here the distance traveled is in meter. Small m. What is small m here? Small m is nothing but it is the unit of distance, that is meter. Now, so what we have to find? Our aim is to find acceleration at the time t equal to 1 second. First we have to differentiate this equation with respect to time, then we will get velocity. Then differentiation of above equation with respect to time. The rate of change of distance is called velocity. Now that is equal to, so 3 into differentiation of t cube with respect to t, that is 3t square. That is 3t square plus 7 into differentiation of t square with respect to t, that is 2t into 2t plus differentiation of 14t means differentiation of t with respect to t, that is 1, then it is 14 into 1, 14 into 1, then differentiation of 8 with respect to time, that is 0, that is 0, means the differentiation of any constant is 0. Now it is 3 into 3, 9, 9t square, 7 into 2, that is 14, 14t plus 14 into 1, that is 14. Then we got velocity, but what we have to find? We have to find acceleration. Okay. Once again differentiating this equation with respect to time. Then the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. dv by dt. That is equal to differentiation of 9t square with respect to t. So 9 into differentiation of t square with respect to t, that is 2t plus differentiation of 14t means differentiation of t with respect to t, that is 1, hence it is 14 into 1 plus differentiation of 14 with respect to time, that is 0, because differentiation of any constant is 0. Now we can write 9 2s are 18, 18t plus 14. Then the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. But what is our aim? Our aim is to find the acceleration at time t equal to 1 second. At the time t is equal to 1 second. Wherever t is there, put 1. Now we can write a is equal to 18 into 1 plus 14 plus 14. Then 18 into 1, that is 18 plus 14. So that is 32. 32 meter per second square. 32 meter per second square. Options. So first option is 10 meter per second square. Second option 32 meter per second square. So third option 23 meter per second square, and last option 16 meter per second square. Option 2 is correct. Means second option is correct. Option 2 is correct. Now next question. The acceleration of a particle is increasing linearly with the time t as b into t. The particle starts from origin with an initial velocity v naught. The distance traveled by the particle in time t will be. So once again listen here. The acceleration of a particle is increasing linearly with the time t as b into t. The particle starts from origin with an initial velocity v naught. The distance traveled by the particle in time t will be. So what we have to find? We have to find the distance traveled by the particle. So here acceleration increasing linearly as b into t. As b into t. Then acceleration can be written as, so dv by dt, because acceleration is nothing but the rate of change of velocity. Then dv by dt is equal to b into t. So let us take this dt to the right hand side, otherwise integrating both sides with respect to time. Okay, integrating both sides with respect to time. Integration of dv by dt with respect to t is equal to integration of bt with respect to t plus c. It is indefinite integral. It is called indefinite integral. Now, so dt get cancel. Integration of dv, so that is v. Then v is equal to, then integration of bt with respect to t. Here b is constant, then I will take outside. Here b is constant, then I will take outside. Integration of t with respect to dt, that is t square by 2. bt square by 2 plus c, because it is indefinite integral. Now see here, initial time can be taken as 0. At the time t is equal to 0, then initial velocity of the particle can be taken as v naught. Hence, so we can write the velocity of the initial velocity of the particle can be taken as v naught. Now see here, so let us substitute t is 0 in this equation, then we will v is equal to v naught, then so b into 0 by 2, again it is 0, then c, then v naught is equal to c. So let us substitute wherever c is there, that is by v naught, means let us replace c by v naught, then v is equal to bt square by 2 plus v naught. Now next one, what is velocity? It is rate of change of displacement. So that means ds by dt. So this can be written as bt square by 2 plus v naught. Then once again integrating both sides with respect to time. So see here, integration of ds by dt with respect to t. Then here integration by parts. Then integration of bt square by 2 with respect to t, and integration of v naught with respect to t. Okay. Now listen here, dt get cancelled. Integration of ds gives s, hence it is a distance traveled. So s is equal to b by 2 taken outside, then integration of t square with respect to t, that is t cube by 3. Already you know that what is the equation to find the integration of x raised to n with respect to dx, that is x raised to n with respect to dx, that can be written as x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Now, so hence it is b by 2 into t cube by 3 plus, so again it is indefinite integral, I will take it is c dash, this can be taken as c dash. Now v naught is initial velocity is constant, then taken outside, integration of dt is t, now it is v naught into t plus c dash. Now listen here, we have to find the value of c dash. How to find the value of c dash? At the time t equal to 0, the position of the particle is 0, because it is initially at origin. At the origin, the position of the particle can be taken as 0. Now let us substitute these two values in this equation, then s0 na? Next b into 0, this is b into 0, again it is 0, then v naught into 0, again it is 0, then c dash equal to 0. Now let us replace c dash by 0, then we will get s is equal to bt cube by 6, because 2 into 3, that is 6, plus v naught t. Then options given, first option v naught t plus 1 by 2 bt square. First I will write v naught t plus bt cube by 6, then this is the distance traveled by the particle. Now first option v naught t plus 1 by 2 bt square, first option is wrong. Second option v naught t plus 1 by 2 bt square, second option is also wrong. Then third option v naught t plus 1 by 6 bt cube, then third option is correct, means option 3 is correct. Option 3 is correct. What is option 3? v naught t plus 1 by 6 bt cube, and option 4 v naught t plus 1 by 3 bt cube. Okay, option 4 is also wrong. Which is the correct answer? Third option is the correct. Next question. A ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 20 meter per second from the top of a tower. It hits the ground after some time with a velocity of 80 meter per second. Then the height of the tower is, what we have to find? We have to find height of the tower, and g value given, so g value is 10 meter per second square. Then say this is a tower. A ball is thrown vertically upward and it hits the ground with a velocity of 80 meter per second. Initial velocity of the ball that is 20 meter per second, and final velocity of the ball can be taken as, so that is 80 meter per second. 80 meter per second. Now, so it is a falling case. Falling case means here we have to take acceleration due to gravity, vertical motion. In case of vertical motion, we are going to take acceleration due to gravity. Then what is our aim? Our aim is to find height of the tower. So by using third kinematic equation, what is third kinematic equation? That is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Instead of a, I will take g, and instead of s, I will take h. That can be taken as h. Now let us substitute the values. So what is the value of v? That is 80, means final velocity of the ball, 80 square. Now u is 20 square plus 2 into 10 into h, 2 into 10 into h. Then 80 square is 6400, then 20 square is 400, then 2 into 10, that is 20 into h, then find the h. Now 400 taken to left hand side, that is minus 400, 6400 minus 400, that is 6000. Then 6000 is equal to 20 into h. Then h is equal to 6000 divided by 20. Then it is 300 meter. So what is the height of the tower? Height of the tower is 300 meter. Options: first option 360 meter, second option 340 meter, third option 320 meter, and last option 300 meter. Means option 4 is correct, or option D is correct. Option 4 is correct. Next question. A stone falls freely under gravity. It covers distances h1, h2 and h3 in the first 5 seconds, the next 5 seconds and the next 5 seconds respectively. The relation between h1, h2 and h3. What is h1 here? h1 is the distance traveled by the stone in first 5 seconds. Then h2 is the distance traveled by the stone in next 5 seconds, and h3 is the distance traveled by the stone in next 5 seconds. So what we have to find? We have to find the relation between h1, h2 and h3. So let us draw the diagram. So this is free fall case. Now there is a stone. This stone is at a certain height from the ground, and initially we are going to take its velocity as 0, because we are going to drop the stone now. Then its initial velocity can be taken as 0. Then in first 5 seconds the distance traveled by the stone is h1. In the next 5 seconds the distance traveled by the stone is h2, and in next 5 seconds the distance traveled by the stone is h3. Then what we have to find? We have to find the relation between h1, h2 and h3. Now by using the free fall equations, means kinematic equations in case of free fall. So that is h is equal to 1 by 2 gt square. 1 by 2 gt square, because initial velocity can be taken as 0. Now, so in the first 5 seconds, what is the distance traveled by the stone here? That is h1. So h1 is equal to 1 by 2 g into t square, means pi square. Pi square, that is 25 by 2g. 25 by 2g. Then it can be taken as h1. Then in next 5 seconds the distance traveled by the stone, that is h2. Then what is the total distance traveled by the stone from initial point? That is h1 plus h2. h1 plus h2. That is equal to 1 by 2 g into total time taken from initial point to this point, that is 5 second plus 5 second, that is 10 second. So 10 second means it is 10 square. Now it is 100 by 2 into g. Now it can be taken as h1 plus h2. So next one, the total distance traveled by the stone from initial point to ground, that is h1 plus h2 plus h3. h1 plus h2 plus h3. Now I will take, this is equation 1, this is equation 2, and next one h1 plus h2 plus h3. What is the total time taken by the stone to reach the ground from its initial point? That is 5 second plus 5 second plus 5 second, 15 second. Now we can write. So 1 by 2 g, total time taken is 15. 15 square, that is 225. 225 divided by 2 into g. Now it is h1 plus h2 plus h3. Now let us take, it is equation number 3. Next what we have to do? We have to find the relation between h1, h2 and s3. Subtract 1 from 2. Subtract 1 from 2. Subtract equation 1 from 2. Subtract equation 1 from 2. Now, so what is equation 2 here? That is h1 plus h2. Right hand side of equation 2, that is h1 plus h2 minus left hand side of equation 1. Left hand side of equation 2 is h1 plus h2 and left hand side of equation 1 is h1. So it is minus of h1. That is equal to right hand side of equation 2, that is 100 by 2 into g. 100 by 2 into g minus right hand side of equation 1, that is 25 by 2 into g. 25 by 2 into g. Now this can be written as, so what is common here? G by 2 is common, then 100 minus 25. 100 minus 25 is, that is 75. Then so plus h1 minus h1 get cancelled, then h2 is equal to, now 75 g by 2. Now 75 can be written as 3 into 25 because 3 25s are 75. 3 into 25 into g divided by 2. Then what is 25 g by 2? That is h1 from equation 1. So this can be written as 3h1. 3h1. h2 is 3h1. Now next one. Subtract equation 2 from equation 3. So in order to get the relation between h2 and h1, we have to subtract 1 from 2 in order to get the relation between. So that is s3 and h1, we are going to subtract equation 2 from 3. Subtract equation 2 from 3. 2 from 3. So what is the left hand side of equation 3? That is h1 plus h2 plus s3. h1 plus h2 plus s3 minus left hand side of equation 2, that is h1 plus h2. h1 plus h2, that is equal to right hand side of equation 3, 225 divided by 2 into g. 225 divided by 2 into g minus, then next one, right hand side of equation 2, that is 100 by 2 into g. 100 by 2 into g. Now this can be written as, so here what is common? G by 2 is common. Then here h1 plus h2 minus h1 minus h2 get cancelled. Then h3 is equal to, now what is common here? G by 2 is common. Then 225 minus of 100. 225 minus of 100, that is 125. Then 125 into g by 2. So this can be written as, so 5 into 25 g by 2. 5 into 25 g by 2. Now What is 25 into g by 2? That is again h1 from equation 1. Yes, it is 5h1. So this is h3. Now from this equation, h1 can be written as h2 by 3, means h1 is 1/3 of h2, and next one from this equation, h1 is equal to 1/5 of h3, 1/5 of h3, means h1 is equal to h2 by 3, that is equal to h3 by 5. Then what is the relation now? h1 is equal to h2 by 3, and that is equal to h3 by 5, h3 by 5. Then this is the relation. So this is in the case A equal to B, then B equal to C. Then this can be written as A equal to B and A equal to C. A equal to C. Okay. Now by using this relation we can write h1 is equal to h2 by 3, that is equal to h3 by 5. Then options. First option, h2 is equal to 3h1 and h3 is equal to 3h2, wrong. Then second option, h1 is equal to h2 is equal to h3. Then third option, h1 is equal to 2h2 is equal to 3h3, and last option, h1 is equal to h2 by 3, that is equal to h3 by 5. Means option 4 is correct. Option 4 is correct.